All right, what's going on this morning? Hope everybody's doing good. Let's get into a little bit of this longshoreman strike. It's over now. Today is the 8th, but I saw a lot of videos that were kind of contrasting and working out of the local. Uh, here in Texas, I got a little bit more insight. Maybe I can clear some things up. And I saw a lot of people saying that longshoremen are greedy. Uh, the president is greedy. Man, you know what? I don't care how much the president makes, but if he gets out there and stands with us in solidarity to support uh, higher wages, then I'm all for it. And I don't think there's anybody out here who's been working somewhere trying to achieve um, the top wage at any job. We want the company to walk and step all over them while they struggle to try to make ends meet, all the time. I don't know anybody would. So, if I see anybody or any group of individuals in solidarity trying to get more money because they're already underpaid, then I'm all for it. Sometimes you have to go through it to get to it. And so um, I want to clear up the wages a little bit as far as how a longshoreman gets to the wage that he makes. Now, the top pay is about $39 an hour. I know people that make that in other industries right now, but that pay should support a household. But the way things work um, on the docks and with the locals is that, first of all, most of the people that come to the docks to work, uh, the longshoremen work, they already work other jobs. I mean, they may be in between jobs, they may be unemployed, they may have just gotten out of jail, they can't go anywhere else, for a certain thing that they went to jail for. Um, they may be on a job they're making low wages, and I know people that have left other jobs and came down here on the time that they had off, just to get on the chain and get on the line and try to get a job. And it may have taken them years to get to the point where they were making any money. Everybody that comes into the local, one of the local starts as a casual. I mean, that's at zero. And down here in Texas, especially in Houston, you got city docks, and you have the faraway places like Barber's Cut, and you have Bayport. Those are the container yards. They do containers. They do heavy equipment, and things of that nature. The city dock, they do a lot more of diverse types of freight. Two different pay tiers. Two different pay tiers. For example, Barber's Cut, Bayport were the two terminals that were on strike because they do the containers. All that freight is consolidated into those containers. It's the city dock. They have some container freight, not much, but most of it comes in the hold of the ship. Pipe, steel beams, uh, uh, things that are palletized, things that are crated up. Those things come in bulk in the hold of the ship, and they weren't not under the strike at that time. They were open. People were going to work at the city dock, but you got to understand these containers, they're global, and the shipping companies are global, and that's where the fight is. In my opinion, it wasn't all about the money. It was about the automation. Because when you look around the world, New Zealand, China, even in the United States now, the port of LA is completely automated. Once automation gets a foothold in this country, they want to sweep through the whole country. Now, if automation in LA, if they had 800 jobs of men and women working in LA, and automation came and they went down to three, two, even 400 jobs. What happened to the other 400? What did those people do? What are those industries around that port? Well, they affected gas stations, restaurants, shops, stores, all kinds of. Were they affected by that? Of course. So when you're talking about automation, these container companies, which are global container companies, they want automation. And you know how you have somebody tell you something, and then they turn around and do something different. Well, that's what they'll do. They put it in paper, put it in black and white, but they'll turn around and figure out a way to do it anyway. So this these port workers, these dock workers, are not only thinking about themselves when they went out there to stay on the line. They were thinking about the people of this country. Because if we don't stick together, there won't be nothing left. Everything will be automated. They already got robots ready to take people's places in factories right now. I mean, how far does this need to go? If all the robots are making products, and I'm not saying they're trying to get rid of all the jobs that humans do. Don't get me wrong. But if you get enough humans out of work, how are they supposed to afford to buy things, to buy eggs, to buy milk? If you get a robot to milk a cow, how is it that the person who needs the milk gonna buy it if he took his job? Where the money gonna come from? So it was more than the wages. The dock workers were trying to get 77%, and they only got 62%. So over 6 years, because the contract lasts 6 years. My understanding it was 64433 as far as the money. Supposed to be a $6 raise, then the next year four, next year four, then three, then three after that. And if you look at it, if you look at 72% of the top pay, if you add that up, what would it have been opposed to 62%, which they got over 6 years? So you're talking about a boost maybe in 6 years from 39 top pay to $63. But the is that outrunning inflation? The U.S. government is putting trillions of dollars a day out of thin air, which makes the money in our pocket worth less. That's why eggs go up, everything goes up, but the dollar value of the dollar goes down. We pay more for it. So let's not be fooled. You know, these corporations are making billions of dollars. These shipping companies are making billions of dollars. They're still throwing out crumbs at 62%. They're still throwing out crumbs at 62%. I wasn't in the negotiation. I don't know, but I do know those ships were lining up out there in the port. Lining up. So it was finna get to be a pretty bad situation. And so January 15th, we'll see where it goes from there. So getting to my point, I wanted to kind of explain, go back on the people that work at the port. A lot of these people come out of other industries. If a person goes to a hiring hall, in our hiring hall, there's a big open hall. Let me just try to make it, explain it a little bit. And in that hall, there's nothing inside that hall but chairs lined up along the wall. There's a window where the business agents work out of, and you go there at a certain time of the day, early in the morning, and you wait for the hiring times. And everybody knows what the hiring time is. They hire truck drivers at 5:30, and they hire um, faraway places at 6, and they also hire uh, for city dock a little bit later than that. And so um, people that go there, they know what time to be there. But let's say, for instance, you are casual. You're casual, okay? In that hall, you have It's marked off, taped off, all the way from casual up to maybe 60 years. And somebody that's been there 60 years, they started as a casual. They started as casual, but they stayed there. They worked. They went to that other job. They left that job, came out to the port, got them some time, and before they knew it, after continuing to do that year after year, it may have taken them to become a one. It may have taken them 2 years just to get from casual to one. That's 2 years. It should just take you a year, but it may take them 2 years. Some people get discouraged because they stay in casual so long. We've been in casual maybe a year or two. They say, "Man, I'm not moving. Let me go try to do something else." They're going to try to do something else, and maybe that won't work out. And a couple of years later, they'll come back. They're still in casual, but they're in the door, so they can come back. You just can't do that now. It used to be you could just come up there and you could just go in there and get hired with a social security card or whatever kind of form of ID back in the day. Now you have to go through personnel. Personnel is closed right now. No hiring. I had to put an application in to get in the door now. So once you get in, you're in. You're in. Your time starts, and so you can keep coming and going year after year. Myself, for instance, went down there when I was 18, and that was a while back ago. But I left and started driving trucks, so I never got my hours consistently, because when I went down there, work was harder than what it is now. Very hard. And as a young person, that discouraged me. But now it's not that hard. Long hours. The port does not close. The post office closes, but the port doesn't. They do close on certain holidays. They're not going to be open. But as far as those ships coming in, they don't close. If it rains, they work in the rain. As long as it's not thundering and lightning. If it rains too hard where you can't see it, they'll stop until it eases up. But they'll issue raincoats to everybody. It doesn't close. If it's raining, it's cold. I've worked in the cold. They don't close because those ships have times they have to meet. They have to go to other ports, so it doesn't close. So yes, there's opportunity down there for people to come. But if you have a family, you're new, you're starting out, you come down there, you're working a job, you come down there and you want to work. You may not get all your hours in 1 year. It may take you 2 years to get from a casual to a one. It might take you another 2 years to get from a one to a two. But at the same time, these gangs, these gangs that hire, if there's not enough gangs for you that day, you call the recording, and it says 10 gangs, 10 container gangs, and 5 house gangs, or whatever the case might be. You calculate that in your mind and say, you know what, I can't get no job. I'm not going on. I'm not wasting the fuel to go down there today. So you have to develop a strategy. You have to develop a strategy as time goes on, and you'll see that most of these guys, they take years to get from at casual point up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't take just a year. It may take more than a year. So the pay rate. You say all these guys don't make that kind of money, and you may go down there and get lucky. You may be one of those hard guys, casual guys. You go in there, you hang out, you get to know people, you hustle. You just stay there. You take your lunch, put it in the car, you stay there all day long. Because they hire more than one time a day. They hire more than one time a day, and they'll go backs when lunchtime comes, people get their jobs up. And you go to the window, they're giving jobs away. At certain times, you'll hire those jobs. So there are different ways to make money, but it can be discouraging to someone. And for somebody on the outside to think it's like it happens like that, it's not like going to a job, getting a job, and you work about an hour. You got to be there at 7 o'clock on Monday, and you get off at 5 days a week. You might get some overtime on Saturday. You got to do that. This is a different type. This is a different type of job. You can work 10 hours that week, and you don't have to go back the next week. Nobody's gonna be calling you and say, "Where you at, man?" No, you got to go back and get on the line again, and it continues, and it continues, and continues. So Most of the guys there, from 60 years, most of those guys not gonna do too much. They're gonna be foremans, or they're gonna pick the easy jobs, and those easy jobs are gonna get ate up before it gets down to a casual. And a lot of times, you're a casual, it doesn't even make it back to you. It doesn't even make it back to you. So if you don't know somebody, if you don't know how the system works, you're gonna starve. You're not gonna make $39. Everybody not making $39. Those jobs in the casual are gonna probably start at about $20, and that's gonna be a new worker. They got different tiers, and they call them WTO all the way up to WTO 6, and you can make anywhere from $21 to $24 city dock. It depends on what job you do, because everybody has to get certified now. You can drive forklift, uh, you can drive the heavy lift equipment, you can drive the truck driver, the utility guy. Everybody needs to be certified. But once you get certified, uh, the row, once you get certified, then your pay tier kicks up a little bit. Like truck drivers, they might make more money than a guy that drives a forklift or a heavy lift. So it's different tiers, all kinds of combinations. But you have to get certified now. It used to be you didn't have to get certified. Jump on a forklift, you know how to drive a forklift. You get on a forklift, go pick that up over there. So just let me be clear. You know, it's not all peaches and cream. There's a lot of hustling going on, and they work 24/7. 24/7. There's a lot of opportunity to make money down there. If you're a young person, you're hustling. A lot of people are not young. A lot of people just in middle ages. A lot of people are older. They go in there and start. A lot of retirees work down there, but they always got something else to do besides work at the port. But I mean, it's a good job. Once you go down there, you start making your hours. Then there's benefits that you can get if you make certain thresholds. So I mean, just a little bit of background of you know, you know, what longshoremen have to go through, the pay scale. So people say stuff about people, but they don't really know about what's going on. So I want to just try to clear it up a little bit, because I do know a little bit about it, but I don't know everything. I don't know everything. There may be some gaps in what I'm saying now, but for the most part, that's a general idea of what happens at the ports. Now, one thing about it, once you get in, you get certified, you get that button, you can go anywhere and work on another port. A lot of people at the ports down here in Houston, they'll go to Lake Charles, they go to Port Arthur, they'll go to some have been to the Carolinas, some have been to Baltimore, so you can go anywhere and work. That is an IOLA, so that's a plus. You can travel if you want to, your family, and you get down to the ports down there, you get to know the halls and phone numbers and the people that work there. You go in there and work. So it's not back-breaking work like it used to be, because most stuff is containerized. But if you go to the ports or the city docks, yeah, you still gotta get with it. You still gotta get with it. You gotta have a little skill. So anyway, uh, man, I hope that helps somebody. To understand the port jobs and what the strike was all about. It was more than money. To me, it was more than about money. It's about automation. Trying to get something solid on paper, saying that you're not going to totally automate uh, the ports down here in Houston and up on the East Coast and West Coast. There's a lot of jobs, man. Lots of jobs. The economy is bad right now. Some people may not. Some people may be doing good. Some people are not. Economy is bad right now. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, man. I'm out here taking a little stroll, trying to get my walk on, trying to keep body healthy so I can move around at an old age one day. So anyway, this is a working man. I hope that you learned something. I learned something just by talking through it. You have a great day. Over and out. God bless you.